everybody, and welcome to doing the Paletteful pack. I just got my, it's the Paletteful packs review, and this is the box opening part where I'll be opening this up, or I'll be opening the box, and then showing what we got for October 2022's, I guess, Paletteful pack stuff. So we don't know. Actually, technically I do know because I kind of sort of got an email since I'm new to this whole Paletteful packs subscription box. And my first one was last month, and I did a Paletteful packs box opening review of some of the products that I've got in there. And then I ended up creating something with those, just using the stuff that they gave me in that month's box. So I am going to be doing the same kind of thing with this box, is just kind of going over what they gave to me in the review or in this box, and then doing kind of like my own little review on it, just looking over it, kind of examining, just seeing how things are. And yeah, we're going to go from there. Now, I did notice that I had an email from Paletteful Packs. And I'm not sponsored by Paletteful Packs neither, so I bought this and on my own. So I did this whole thing subscription on my own. So I ended up getting an email from them, and I was kind of curious. I kind of opened it up, and it said, "What's in this month's box?" or something like that. And I was like, "What's that?" And I clicked on it, and it took me to the box that basically what you're going to be getting in the Paletteful pack box for that month. Now, it was in October, but I hadn't received the box yet. So my box usually comes like, well, at least it came on the 8th this time. So not that long ago it came in. Now, since I do travel, I won't be able to get a box out immediately right whenever it arrives in my mailbox or anything like that, because due to my travels, it makes it to where whenever I do come home, the box may already be there, or maybe I've taken off and the box hadn't arrived yet. So these are just going to be not really a rush into thing, trying to beat everybody out there on trying to get a Paletteful pack box in, but it will be of that month's pack. I'll just give my review of it and then do a little art, kind of like a little art thing using only the stuff they give you in the box. Now, in the email, and I keep on going back and forth to this email, it went ahead and told me what I was getting, like I said, in that month's box. So I was like, well, kind of takes the joy out of opening up the box and then being surprised if I already know what I'm going to get. And I'm very tempted to open this email. So it's going to be kind of hard for me to not look at the email before I get the box when I'm out there traveling, because I'm excited anyway. But either way, it didn't actually show me pictures of the items, so I had no clue what they were going to look like. I just kind of knew what I was going to get. And then they ended up creating like these little prompts that you can do, like doing something like kind of like ideas you could do with what they got in the box. So they'll give you kind of like prompt, maybe do a leaf, or maybe do some camping is what they have, or something spooky or adventure. So that's kind of cool that it kind of gets those imagination juices flowing, and on what you could do with this kind of set. So I was actually thinking about possibly going ahead and trying that, like doing something, either a camping one or a leaf one or something spooky or adventure. So I'm not quite for sure what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to like totally make this up. I don't know. It may look like more like an illustration, not for sure, but yeah, totally just going to put my imagination into doing this. But I don't want it to be too long of a video when it goes to the speed painting part, when I do that on a separate video. So let's go ahead and open this box and see what they gave us. All right, here we go. Okay, so we see here we've got the Dollar and Rowney. I can never say the name. And it looks like it is lemon yellow. These are acrylic ink. So looks like we're going to be working with ink again. Acrylic ink, water resistant, non-clogging, pigmented, shake lightly before use. Okay, so we're working with ink. So they gave me a lemon yellow. not limited glass. It is made of glass. Oh, I almost dropped it. But see, I got these up here, and these are my Liquitex ones. And these are like full bottles. This is a really big bottle of ink. So, I mean, they're giving you like full size, like sets. So that's really nice. So we got Dollar and Ronnie. And then we got another one, but this one here is sepia. So our acrylic ink. So sepia. Emerald green. Shake it. So there's emerald green. I hope that's not too loud. I know that's right by the microphone. Oh my gosh. We've got magenta. Acrylic ink. So we got magenta. Try and lay that down slowly. I don't want to bust out anybody's eardrums. And then we got process cayenne. C-Y-A-N. Looks like there's a little bit of white in that. Shake it up some. Or maybe this is the, yeah, just needs to be shaken up. Looks like there's still some white speckles in that. Okay, so that is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 colors of inks. Looks like we got 2 brushes here, Robert Simmons. And this here is a round size 4 and a round size 2. And it's the Sapphire Robert Simmons brushes. So they gave us 2 of those. Excuse me. Art Alternatives Pigment Liner. So we got a liner. You see that? Just a pigment liner. And then we got a Tombow Mono, highest quality Tombow Mono 2H pencil that is not pre-sharpened whatsoever. So you have the joy of sharpening it from the very beginning. It's not pre-sharpened, but either way, it is a pencil. Okay, and then we got a little sticker. Here's the sticker. They always include a sticker in here, and I've got the one that says Paletteful Packs New Art Press Start. All right, so there we go. So we can press start. And that's cool. And looks like, oh, here we go. So inside here, looks like they gave us a pamphlet. This is the Dialer and Rowney step by step acrylic ink. And it shows you right here on how to do step by step for leaves. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe, I don't know, there's a shadow. Gotta love it when my camera system's right here because it has a shadow. But they show you drawing like some leaves, and then it shows how you're going over it step 2 with the ink and creating the leaves in different colors for shades and values. Putting in some of the tree or the little leaf of the stick right there. Yep. So they gave you a little step by step. Paint in the darker greens using the inks with no water added. Paint in stem in brown, mixed from red and green. So it looks to me like they're kind of using some of the colors here, but they're telling you how to do some mixtures too to create these kind of colors. It says green, use wet into wet techniques as with watercolors for some of the leaves. Adding some scarlet in the greens will achieve a more natural color. It says pencil out the image on an HP watercolor paper. All right. When dry, outline some of the leaves and stem with a fine black marker pen. Okay, so they want you to go back in with the pigment, basically the pigment pen, and outline some of the leaves with the pigment liner here. So after it's done and you already did all your wet process of adding in whatever colors you need, then at the very last is whenever you use your pigment liner to be able to go over it. So they probably do this another way too, is if like this could be where you use the liner, and if you use it at the beginning, it could actually smudge it if it's not waterproof. So that's one thing to know about these, is if they're waterproof or not, because that also depends on whether or not you add the pigment liner at the beginning or you add it at the end. And from the way it looks, they're wanting you to add the pigment liner at the end, so that way you're not smudging it. But definitely a good read, and that was in the Paletteful pack box here. And looks like they gave us, look at all this confetti. Oh, it's like a party. Okay, so here is a plastic little palette that they gave me in the pack. So you got these little circles here on the outside, and then you got some inner ones here for mixing. So where your colors go, and then where you can mix. So it's a little palette, and it looks like it's by Art Alternatives, which is the same brand that this one here is by Art Alternatives. So these two here are by the same brand. Okay, let's see what else they gave me. Usually they give you a whole book of paper, like an actual, you know, whole thing of paper. But this time they gave me, looks like little sheets of watercolor paper. And it doesn't actually say what the paper is. Let me see if I can find that. It looks like it, okay. So when they sent me the email, it tells me that the paper that they gave me is an 8x8. It's Stonehenge white 100% cotton paper. So, and it's an 8x8 inch. So this is Stonehenge 100% white paper, and they gave me 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 sheets of this paper. Sometimes they give you like a whole like book of paper, but I think because of having these full solid, you know, whole inks here, and they gave me 5 of them, that they probably went ahead and went with just getting a smaller, just a few sheets, because of the high, you know, having full sets of these inks here. So they kind of balance it out, which is still nice, you know, to have it either way. You don't want to just always get a full set of paper and then end up getting, you know, not full sets of something like this, you know. So yeah, definitely pretty cool. And let's go ahead and test some of this stuff out and do my review, because I have no clue. Let me put this box away. And I want to use one of these papers for the speed painting. So definitely don't want to go through all of them, but I can use that one and save those for my speed painting that I will be doing on a different video. Okay. And we're just going to test some of this stuff out. Now we all know what a 2H pencil is. I don't think I really need to review a pencil, at least not a 2H, just regular pencil. I mean, the brushes, I mean, they are nice. They're expected. I mean, I wouldn't say that anything different. I mean, I've had the Dialer or the Robert Simmons brushes, and they are nice brushes. But we will be using those too. And then the pigment liner, we're going to test that one out. So I need a thing of water. Let me just use my handy dandy cup there. And let me pour some water in this. And we need a paper towel. Okay. Excuse me. Jeez, my allergies have been so bad last few weeks. Definitely the change of weather from spring to fall, or actually summer to fall. Boy, I skipped a whole season. All right. So this is not, let's see here. We are going to, so many things to try out. Let's just test these colors out, shall we? So it looks like a little dropper. It looks like a glass dropper too. It is. Okay. So I don't want to put too much in there, but we'll do like one little drop. Probably more than just a drop. Let's do 3 little drops. There's blue. Two little drops. Oh. There's 2. Sorry for your ears, you guys. Ugh. Everything's made of glass. Ugh. So super glad. Got glass bottles against the glass table. Here comes the sepia. I am really interested in sepia. Sepia happens to be, for some reason, one of my favorite colors. Whether it's from color pencils to in just about anything else, if it's sepia, it just seems to be a color that I really do like to use. And this one here is kind of funky. I'm like squeezing the top and it feels like it's just not, it isn't working. Okay, hold on. Oh, don't do that. My top, this is not working. Like the, I just got ink on me. Making a mess, making a mess. What a glorious feeling. Okay, so my little thing is not really, it's not sucking it up. So I've got an issue with it not working. I'm going to rub that out. I am going to try and put this there. Okay, but it's not, like something's seriously wrong with this. The dropper is not working. So I got a default bad dropper. It is not sucking up anything. It feels weird. Like it doesn't feel like these where it just feels like you can squish them and they suck up. It's like there's no pressure in it. So that is a really big bummer that mine does not work. So yellow is going to be fun. Looks like yellow. I'm just going to have to, I'm going to have to use a dropper. Now I do have droppers. Let me get one. This definitely didn't come with the set or anything. It's just I guess I have too much junk. But what can you say? I'm a girl who loves to buy things, so I'm glad I've got me a job. Because this girl here loves to shop for stuff too. Oh. And get everything, get too many things to where I'm like, what if I need this? What if this, you know? And that's how I've always been. So I'm just going to squeeze that in my cup of water. You guys probably can't see it, but I'm just squeezing it back and forth. Just kind of cleaning it out. There we go. And there's my dropper. It's nice and clean. But yeah, so that kind of is a bummer that this dropper here and the yellow one does not work. Could that happen with some of the other sets that maybe so you might get a default dropper, or I don't know why I say a default, but like a not working little dropper, and it could be the case that you might end up getting one that just doesn't work. So yeah, but these little droppers here, I think You can pick them up at like Dick Blick's, or you can pick them up at Hobby Lobby, or Michael's, I think, sells them, and they're just super cheap. I don't know if you paid like $1.99 or whatever the case may be, but they're really cheap little droppers that you can get in the art section. So I do have those on hand. And let's go ahead and just kind of use these colors. I'm going to use, let's use this bigger one. That way you can see. And I'm hoping I'm not busting your guys' eardrums with this loudness on my table. But all right, so we're going to try some of this blue. And I'm just going to come in. I had dried off my brush. And I'm just going to come in and lightly just kind of see the colors that we got, that we're working with. Okay. And then, after cleaning off my brush, I'm going to take my brush just full of water, pure water, and I'm going to put a whole like glaze of water right in this area. Make sure I get it nice and saturated. There we go. I think that's really saturated in that area. And then I'm going to dip a little bit of the blue, and we're going to come in and make some really cool effects. Just because. And see, that's pretty cool right there. How you can do something like that with inks is just like kind of similar to watercolor. You can kind of do like little designs. So let's go ahead and do the red one, or actually they call it a magenta. So this is just based off of just having dry paper. And I'd really like to do these because if you do color swatches like this, you can kind of get an idea of what the color looks like. And then whenever you go and do your art piece, you can kind of use this as a reference of what the color is going to look like if you were to have, you know, the straight color as is, or what the color is going to look like if you add water to it, or water first. And then let's go ahead and get some of this, and we're just going to do some little designs. And all right. So let's do the green, which is emerald green. I don't know about you, but emerald green, whenever I hear emerald green, I think of the Wizard of Oz. I just think of the Wicked Witch. I'm not much for a emerald green. I do like my teal, but or turquoisey colors. Emerald green just, every time I hear it, I always think of the Wizard of Oz and the Wicked Witch. And the Wicked Witch likes emerald green and purple. I love the Wizard of Oz though. It's always been a good movie. Wicked Witch and her little evil flying monkeys. I don't know. I don't think the monkeys were really that mean. I think it's just the Wicked Witch that was doing that to the monkeys. I think the monkeys could have been nice monkeys if it wasn't for the Wicked Witch. That's my opinion. Alright. So let's go ahead and do the sepia. Sepia looks more like a brownish color. Then adding a little bit of that purpley kind of look to it, or reddish tone. Okay. Now rinse that off. Now all I'm going to do is just add a bunch of water right in here. Bunch of water. Okay. I'm going to take my sepia. I'm going to lay in some drops. Just make some little design. And we can come back in and just do a couple more little darker drops. And then let's go ahead and go straight in with the yellow on dry. So now you know kind of an idea whenever they give you prompts But these are the colors you're working with to try and create something that, like a leaf, camping, spooky, or adventure. Let's think about that. And you're working with these colors here. I don't know. I could just probably say one thing. Wizard of Oz. It still looks like Wizard of Oz. When I seen these colors and I'm like, really? Something spooky, something this or that. Oh, looks like I didn't add enough water. Didn't really spread out very good. So let's put a little bit more water in there before we actually add some of this in here. Yeah. These colors so look like Wizard of Oz, so it's not really spreading that good. It's just hard to see because it's a super, super bright yellow. Alright, so now that we got the colors, I'm going to kind of hold these up and try not to drip some of the water anywhere. But we got the yellow, sepia, emerald green, what color was that? It was magenta is what they call it. And then the blue. So that's what the colors look like that they want you to work with to create leaves or camping or something spooky or adventure with. These are some super bright colors. So you would definitely have to do some mixing whenever you're using these in order to create other colors or tone them down. Otherwise, my idea, do something from the Wizard of Oz, maybe the Wicked Witch. Or flying monkeys. See? The brown flying monkeys. Yeah. Alright. So, now we're going to test out this Art Alternatives pigment liner. So, of course they say you can use these on, let me do green. Okay, I'm going to make another green here. And I'm just going to do this on dry, so that way it just kind of dries a little bit quicker. Okay. And then I am actually going to take and let this dry here. Now I am going to see if this smudges. So we're going to put in, we're just going to make some letters maybe. Like D, A, I don't know, I'm going to end up spelling something I probably shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't do letters. Let's just do Roman numerals. Well, let's make some thicker I almost said Roman noodles. Roman numerals. Maybe, let's see here. Doesn't really matter what you do, but maybe just to do something. Let's do a little smiley face little person right there. Okay, so the whole point of this is just to try and see if by putting the liner, the alternative pigment liner down first, if it will smudge or if it's waterproof. So this is the whole idea for this, not really just because I wanted to put something down on the paper. So we're going to use, we'll just use green. Let's do straight green on here and just see what happens. I mean, I can still see it, so it doesn't look like it's actually going anywhere. So now I'm going to do another thing. I'm going to pre-wet it. Looks good. Add some yellow. And it does not look like it's smudged. How about the bigger one? Ooh, we're getting a little bit of color coming from that. Can you see that my yellow is starting to look a little muggy there? Yep. But it's not too bad, but the thicker the ink on it, where I laid a whole bunch of ink on it, it kind of made the yellow kind of look a little dingy there. But other than that, it still held pretty solid on the actual color or the lines, but it did make my yellow look a little bit brownish looking. So yeah, that ain't too bad. Just got to be careful if you have something that you did with ink that's laid down with many layers, or if you went over it and over and over it with the ink, that there could be a possibility that if you're using a lighter color on top of it, it could actually contaminate that lighter color. So it could be a possibility. Just watch out for it. But other than that, it really wasn't doing anything to any of these. I mean, at all. Like, I was really scrubbing on it, adding in a whole bunch more water to it. Now that is really, really saturated, and it's not really going anywhere. It's not smudging or anything. So that is a very, very good thing. That's a good deal. Now here I have the green that we let dry, and we just want to go over the top of it. So what are we going to put? We're going to put S P O O K Y. Make these a little darker. So yeah, I mean, that works too. So it's still, in all, it's not that bad of a liner at all. So it did not smudge completely, but like I said, beware on if you end up going over something multiple times, and then if you use a lighter color like a yellow, that it could contaminate that color. But other than that, the lines didn't smear or get all over the place or totally disappear. They are still there, even with a lot of water added. You can still see my pen is still fine. And then this one here is up here where it's just layered on top. But you can tell that the one on top looks a lot more bolder. Even though I did double it and everything, it just looks so much better, like brighter being on top of the color than it is being underneath of it. So other than that, there was my test. I don't think really I got anything. The palette seems to be, I mean, it's a plastic palette, so, I mean, and definitely they come in handy, especially if you're traveling, if you're out there, and you're just wanting some sort of little palette to use for inks. You know, using a plastic palette doesn't hurt anything. Now, if you're wanting to go ahead, and I do know this, and the brushes, they seem to be just fine. I haven't really, I mean, new brushes are always nice. Usually the way to tell of a brush, it would have to be a really bad brush in order for you to paint with it for the first time and absolutely hate it. The moment you even touched paper with it and started using it, you could already tell that you wouldn't like it. I've had brushes like that. I'm trying to put my ink back. So, and that's the one thing about these little droppers is that, well, besides me making a mess all over myself, who knows, is that you can take your little, whatever you don't use, let me empty that out, and you can take it and just put it back. So there's magenta. Didn't really have much green. I could have used all the green. And then sepia. This one kind of has almost an issue with the squeezing the top. It feels like there's something inside of there that's keeping you from actually squeezing it correctly. So gonna have to be careful with that. Okay, and then the yellow, of course, is my culprit that this thing here is broke. It does not work. My yellow squeezy thing does not work. So Yeah, not too fond of that. And plus that I got green and blue on me. I'm probably going to have a lot more once we get done with the speed painting review on this. So anyways, I think, yeah, these are a lot of fun. I can't wait to actually do my full final review by doing a speed painting with these and just kind of see how it goes. But for the first review of just looking at everything I got, yeah, I mean, these look like a lot of, I mean, they give you a full set of full colors here. They gave you a pigment liner, a pencil. They gave you everything to actually start working with making a picture or a painting of your own. Even though they did give you a lot of the primary colors, which is super super great because you can mix these colors, you can tone them down, you're able to work with these colors by mixing them. Now if they gave you some awkward colors and kind of threw it in there and said, okay, use these for a painting, but yet they could be colors that are just like hard to mix, but they gave you a lot of the primary colors right in here, that these primary colors, the red, blue, green, and yellow, you can definitely mix quite a few colors and make quite a few colors just from these colors alone. So yeah, definitely. And then this one here, I would say the sepia is a bonus for having the sepia. So pretty cool. I am excited to get this set. I am very happy with it, and I can't wait to go ahead and start the next final review. Speed painting, just doing a quick speed painting on these. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.